Well, now when I'm recording it, hello everyone, this is almost Shabbat, so almost Shabbat Shalom, but I'm pre-recording this because I'm here in Griffith Park, and wonderful place, wonderful place. But when there is nature, it's harmony, no place for electronics. So no reception. So I'm recording this, and I will send this as soon as I'm done. But look at this place, look at this. Just look at the sunset. Look at everything here. This is just beautiful. These are footsteps of not me, but another person who is enjoying this beautiful, just this beautiful place. So I'm going to start. I'm going to talk about what I wanted to share with you today. And today is a Parashat Miketz, at the end of. But also Miketz means at the time of awakening. It's interesting, the time of awakening. And I want to talk about today, and some of you would like that, about dreams and modesty. Interesting. And really the parasha of today, Parashat Miketz, starts with the story of the dreams, and so a little bit after the dream, after Joseph was imprisoned in Egypt for he was wrongfully accused, trying to when he was escaping the wife that was trying to seduce him, and he was imprisoned and was put in jail. And there at that time, jail is not like today where you have Supreme Court and let's go to court and try to prove the innocence. At that time, it's a big hole in the ground, and you're being thrown in, and that's it. It's for life. So during the time that Joseph was imprisoned, he was imprisoned together with the minister of drinks, the minister that was responsible for the drinks, and the minister that was responsible for the cooking. And in the story, he prophesied, he resolved the dreams of these two ministers, and really, sure enough, one was killed and one was returned back to his post and was exalted and was reinstated, right? And so 2 years after the minister of drinks was released and was reinstated, and he forgot about Joseph, although he promised Joseph that he won't forget him, and he said that he will talk nicely about him to Pharaoh. He was forgotten, and 2 years later, Pharaoh has this dream. Has these two dreams actually. Has these two dreams, and the two dreams that Pharaoh had, nobody could resolve it. Nobody could give an answer to why, what is going on with his dreams, what's happening. And so then the minister of the drinks remembers Joseph, and he tells Pharaoh, there is this Hebrew guy. There's this Hebrew guy that resolved our dreams, and maybe he can come and help. So Pharaoh sends, they bring Joseph up, and he tells him the dreams. That first he sees 7 cows that are coming off the Nile, and they're very nice and they're very nice looking and very healthy. And then there are 7 cows that come that are very skinny, like they've never seen food before, very sick, and they devour the 7 cows. And then he said he had another dream where he had wheat, fields of wheat, and he had some wheat that was very healthy, and near it there was wheat that was not healthy, and the unhealthy wheat um, took over and ate and devoured the healthy wheat. And Joseph tells him, listen, for the first 7 years, you're going to have abundance. There's abundance, tons of food, everybody is happy. But the next 7 years, are going to be, is going to be famine. And it's going to be so bad that nobody's going to remember the good years. Nobody's going to remember that. It's so bad. And Pharaoh really is really impressed with Joseph, how he resolved the dreams. And Joseph tells him, listen, you need to have somebody who is very smart and very knowledgeable about what's going on. So make sure that you appoint somebody who knows how to take care of business. And Pharaoh says, listen, nobody is as smart as you, and resolving the dreams in such a manner. So he put him as a second to the king. He said, everything is yours except for the chair. But here is the thing. I want to bring it back to the beginning, when Joseph started telling him about the dream. When Joseph started telling him about the dream, the first thing, before Joseph even talks about the explanation of the dream, he tells Pharaoh, listen, this is not me. This is God. God is speaking through me. I'm nothing. I am a messenger, whatever you want to call it, but nothing comes from me. It is not me. And this is the point that I wanted to touch on, at least one of the points that I wanted to touch on today. And this is going to everybody who is now in their journey of discovering their gifts, discovering their talents, discovering what they've received, discovering all these beautiful things that are part of you, that are who you are becoming. That everything that we have, all these gifts, all these talents, everything that we got are gifts. We receive them not because we did anything, not because our power, our might, my might, got me all this. I received this from God. I received this from the creation. I came here in order to go through a certain part of my journey, and I received the tools that I need to go through the journey. And the tools that I received to go through the journey are not mine. They're God. And this is what Joseph is telling him. And this is one of the things that are so crucial in going through the spiritual journey and the development and discovering whether we're going through our inner child, whether we're going through discovering our inner child, discovering our gifts, all these kind of things, is to remember that these, all that we have, is really not us, not the flesh, not the my power, my might. They said about Pharaoh that he said everything is my might, because he raised Moses, so that there was blessings upon him. So the Nile, every time that he would approach, the Nile would rise to him. Right? So he eventually said, "Oh, this is my power, my might. It's my. Oh my." So it is to remember, and this is where the issue of the ego that comes in. Ego, ga'ava, the pride, right? The pride, ga'ava, comes from the word geut, like a tide, when the tide rises, So when the tide rises, it's called gava. It's just like that. That when we don't pay attention, so the water rises and we think, oh, this is me. So gava and geut are the same kind of the same words. And so it's to remember really goes back to the point of where do we come from? Where do we come from? What are we here to? What are we here to accomplish? What are we here to see? Uh, uh, what are we here to to manifest? So also the manifestation. Also when we manifest and say, "Oh wow, I received that. I wanted that. I thought about that. I perceived it. I believed it, and then it appeared." And it came into our lives because of our gifts, because of our talents. We're now expressing our gifts through music. We're expressing our gifts through any kind of talent. We are the messenger, and this is the key. This is the key to remember that we are the messengers. This is the key in also when we talk in relationships, when we are dealing with relationships, when we're dealing between one another. How are we between one another? How are we responding? How are we presenting? How are we expressing ourselves? Are we expressing ourselves like this is me, 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 me? Or, oh, I understand the gifts that I have. I'm here to shine them, pass them forward, use them so I can encourage others, use them so I can also enjoy, of course, on the way. I mean, we're in this human expression, and so we're here to encourage ourselves and to encourage others. And when we encourage others, of course, we are getting a return back, a return of this gifts that we put upon people. And so one thing that is that I've noticed many times, and maybe you've noticed as well, when somebody gives you a compliment. When somebody gives you a compliment, sometimes it may seem, oh, thank you. When we say thank you, thank you, thank you, what are we saying thank you for? What are we thanking the other person for? It's really interesting. And one thing that I personally had an issue with that, because on one hand I want to thank the person for complimenting me, but if somebody says something nice that I did, or something nice that I created, or something nice, or just for being, and I just say thank you, what am I saying thank you for? I'm saying thank you for the person to recognize that. I'm saying thank you, yeah, I know that. I'm saying thank you, oh, thank you for going out of your way. Who am I saying thank you for? And here is something that I found that is really encompassing. That is really encompassing the thank yous. I want to show you the sun before it goes down a little bit behind the mountain. There you go. Oh, wow, this is something. Who are we saying thank you for? So when somebody gives you a compliment for whatever you do, for something that you do, for something that you are, for helping, for bringing something, for giving a gift, as I say, thank God and thank you. Thank God, because the first thing is to remember, and it is reminding me, the first thing is I'm thanking God for giving me this gift. I'm thanking God for giving me this opportunity to be a blessing for somebody else, for passing it forward. And the second thank you is thank you, who you are, for recognizing that, for going out of your way, for saying the kind words, for doing the kind deeds, for doing everything that you're doing because of my expression, or because of what I've displayed, or any of that talent. And that keeps everything in balance, keeps everything in balance, keeps the spiritual body nourished and the physical body nourished. The spiritual body, the spiritual recognition that what am I here for? Just to remember that this plane, that this earth that we are living, we're going through life, we're buying things, we're doing things, projects, this project, that project, expressing spirituality through the physicality, all these kind of things. And this is not a home, so to speak. A home is in the heart and is in the spiritual. And when I remember that this is the reason, that this is the cause, then I know how to use everything that is given to me here. I want to, in the Tanya, it talks about that Joseph had 2 sons in Egypt. And we learn from that how a human being can be really successful in the world, and it's not only the physical world, but also the spiritual world. And so he had 2 sons. He had Menashe and Ephraim. Now, Menashe, and he was talking about, let's see here. That Menashe is reminding him of this spiritual home. That the home is not the physical, is the spiritual. And that Ephraim was the other part, to remember what is your job here. What is your job? How are you going to use your tools to bring to your success? So it is the spiritual body and the physical body. The spiritual body that is reminding that this physical realm, while it is here and while we get up and we are breathing and we're drinking and we're eating, is not really the end result. And that the physical body is to remember that while we're here, when I remember where is my home, I know how to use the tools that I have. And to use the tools that I have, the synchronicity, the synergy between the spiritual body and the physical body, is about recognizing the humility, the modesty in when somebody is complimenting. This is one of the tools. This is not the only tool. There are many tools. But one of the tools today, as it fits today, and it fits through this entire week, about dreams. And dreams are great. Dreams are like an abstract painting. Dreams are like an abstract painting. Abstract painting is to represent that it's not only what you see that is there, but it is to look. I mean, there are the paintings, there are the lines, there are the saturation of the colors, there are the shapes, but beyond the shapes, there is what's between the lines, between the shapes. And so our life is really an abstract. Our life is really an abstract because it is not really what we do here, but it is how we use what we do here to go in between the line, to go in between the lives. So you're seeing this as a recording because I'm uploading it, and may this weekend and this Shabbat, this is Hanukkah, another Hanukkah, may this Hanukkah continue to be place of light, time of light, to illuminate the darkness, as the darkness becomes light, as we are lighting one flame, and the darkness evaporates. And just to remember, what we have here is really not the bottom line. It is the abstract. It is the abstract of life. So